Shalom, shalom. I would like to start by glorifying our Father, Karlayim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Racha, Qadash. Alright, double honor to the apostle and the elders who teach and rule well. And peace and salutation to the brothers, the Gabarayim, who preach this truth and, all over the globe. And Shalom, Wahab, to the few sisters that we have in the truth, okay, who are in the truth in sincerity, and also to the brothers, the Akim, who are sincere in this truth, right, who are trying to grow and to become nobles, right, and talking about nobles, okay, I would like to talk about something that's very important, okay, and as you know, the ministry that I was given is to give advice, all right, and open the eyes of the new brothers and even the brothers in the truth, because this truth is very deep, man. And the reason why I say it's very deep is because, it's like we're trying to catch knowledge in Babylon, and you know how, the Mosai, the Edomite, you know how the snake way has a way to really, take you over to the point where you don't even know. Sometimes you do react in everyday life and you don't even know that basically the way you acting has nothing to do with the truth. But that's because you were born or you grew up in Babylon, or you came and lived for a long time in Babylon. So therefore you were molded, okay, into the way of Babylon. Now you come in this truth and, you're trying, okay, your heart is there, but sometimes, our action and sometimes the way we think and the way we do things, okay, remind us of, the past life. And with all humility, I would like to shed some light on that so we can grow, because as you know, 2022, or technically we know in 2022, we go like 1 month, I believe, to get into the new year according to the Hebrew calendar. But nevertheless, according to this, Gregorian calendar, this Edomite wicked calendar, we are into the new year. And the new year is going to be very serious because, the MOTB, Vanessa, is really, conquering the soul, the spirit, and the heart of the people. So we have to be wise, man. It's time for us to change our ways. We're not perfect, but it's time for us to change our way. And I'd like to start with a precept, and that is Isaiah 46, okay? And we're going to start at 8, and we're going to finish at 9, all right? So it says, remember this, and show yourselves men, okay? Remember this and show yourselves men. Bring it again to mind, all ye transgressors. So already you know that us Hebrew Israelites, we are transgressors in Babylon. And, through predestination, okay, some of us were called. But the Bible said that you have to make your election sure. How do you make your election sure? It's by following the steps of Yahushai, the example that he left, and by becoming a man. Because Yahushua was a man. He was an alpha male. Okay? He didn't deal with emotion. He didn't deal with abandonment spirit. He didn't deal with the spirit of jealousy, of hate. He didn't deal with that. So he shows us how we can be a man, because a lot of the time, how emotion rule over us. And even in the truth, we don't know how to, because a lot of us that grew up with mommy, daddy's not around, the system has a way of making us feminine, okay? So we act sometimes like females, okay, as men. But it's okay. We have a guide, okay, which is the word, which is the Bible, okay, that can help us change. But we have to change, okay? So I'm reading verse 9. Verse 9, we have to be willing to change. So I'm reading verse 9. It says, remember the former things of old. So we have to go back to our ways, okay? And I always say this. I come from the West African background, and growing up, my stepfather and my father, All right? Whenever I went to my father, and when I lived with him for like a few years, every time I did something, they made me sit down and then spoke sense to my mind. They disciplined me, okay? Even though I was a rebel, but the thing that they did, I kept it here. And there's a way, and obviously we know that West Coast, you know, is full of Hebrewism, because we didn't know that it was Hebrewism. But when I look back now, I was like, wow, Jake is really in West Africa, man. Because our ways, okay? And when you look at the way they were dealing with, when there was a situation between two people, they will go to the chief, even in the village, and they will sit down and they will discuss the matter. When you look in the spiritual realm, the Shemayan, what do you have? The 24 elders. And the Mosai is so balanced that he had to create those 24 elders so that every time he make a decision, though he has the last word, he want to hear different angle. And that's being balanced. So in this truth, we have to accept rebuke, man. In this truth, we have to accept rebuke. The problem with certain brothers is that they don't like rebuke. When you rebuke them, oh, it becomes war. When you rebuke them, they stay away from you. How are you going to grow? Like I always say, when you walk around and you got something in your eyes, it takes the next man, or it takes a mirror to let you know that you have something in your eyes. You cannot remove it yourself, because sometimes you get carried away and you cannot remove it yourself. And I remember I was on a bus one day, and there was these schoolgirls. So there was 3 schoolgirls, right? So there's one that had, you know, dirt in the eyes early morning, you know, going to school. And the 2 friends were talking, laughing, but not once did they tell her, poor girl, did they tell her that she got something in the eyes. And I looked at it, and then I could see the whole spirit of England and UK. That's what it is. People are fake. People are two-faced. People come to you only when they need you, or when they want to do something, when they have an agenda. But they're not real in their heart. And it takes a little situation to show the true color. But we have to change this in this truth, man. Because the Most High is calling us to be men. And verse 9, he said, remember the former things of old, for I am Yahweh. Okay? And there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. So we're going to have, okay, to accept to be rebuked. And in this truth, we need order and structure. A lot of us are not orderly, and a lot of us are not structured. Like they say in the Bible, how they say that? Put your house in order, man. How can you go out there and teach? How can you be a man of the Lord and you don't try at least to put your house in order? You're all disorderly, you know. Some brothers can't even come on time. Okay? And that's something. Or if you look in your life, there's so many things. And we all have, you know, aspect of our life where it's a mess. But we have to be willing to hear. Sometimes the Most High will bring people in your life. Sometimes the Most High will bring people in your life, man. They're real. They will tell you about yourself. But it's for your own good. But will you listen to it? And I found out that, you know, in Babylon, even in the truth, it's all good when you're a hypocrite, when you don't want to tell the truth. But the moment you become real, it becomes an issue. Okay? So that's what we're going to go into it. So that the new brothers or the brothers that are listening can peep game and can grow. Because it's about growing. Right now, we need to be, you know, we need the Most High to look at us and be proud of us. Okay? And be proud of us, man, because you are never on top of your game. You are never over. You are never a finished product. It's a continual battle, a continual search, you know, to perfection. So if you can't take rebuke, if you can't take positive or constructive criticism, it's a big issue, man. You're only lying to yourself. You can use you can be a good manipulator, use people against, but how long are you going to do that? It's always going to catch up to you. That's why humility is very important in this truth. Being humble is important. And we're not humble 100%, but we should always, and we must always strive, you know, to get to that great humility, you know, that the Most High is requiring of us. So I say, how people back in time had nobility traits, Okay? How people were very noble in the way they did things. They were very structured in the way they dealt with situation, in the way they dealt with one another. And that's something we lost. And in this truth is teaching us to become those royal and noble people we once were. But we have to accept the rebuke that comes from brothers, and that comes from the word. Because when the brother rebuke you, he rebuke you based on the word. Now, there's different ways. Some people are passionate. Some people sometimes are aggressive in their approach. But sometimes you have to take the good out of people. Like they say, chew the flesh and spew, the bone. That's what you have to do, because you have different spirit around you. You have to know them and accept them for who they are, as long as they don't abuse it. Okay? So I say how people have the ability trait. They dealt with situation in an orderly manner. Okay? In order for us to be gold, we must also become nobles and honorable men. Okay? Like they say, you don't want to find yourself in a situation, or we don't want, because remember, what I'm telling you, the word is what? It's a double-edged sword. So it comes to me as well. I'm not out of it. I'm in as well. I'm talking to myself as well, okay? Because I believe that the inspiration that we all have comes from the Most High, comes from the Spirit, and we just share it. So it speaks as well to the communicator. Very important to understand that, okay? So in order for us to be gold, we must also become nobles and honorable men. We must become nobles and honorable men. We need to be men of honor. A man of honor has integrity. A man of honor doesn't manipulate people. He doesn't manipulate brothers, man. Okay? A man of honor takes rebuke. That makes him more honorable, man. When a man can take rebuke, that makes him more honorable. Okay? And I say, and it starts with learning how to be structured. Hence, the need to bring the order back in our walk. And order, okay, is manifested, okay, in this truth through, okay, rebuke and through counseling. Because when you have a child, in order for the child to understand and to be principled, to be structured, and to be orderly, when he does something that's wrong, you need to sit him down and let him know what he did. And you need to let him understand about the consequences and tell him, if you carry on, this what's going to happen, and no one will be there to save you. So that way, he has like a light. He has a green light and he has a red light in his head. And he know when he goes a certain way, he know that voice that, is still telling him, listen, he's hearing that voice again. That voice is on repeat. That voice is on loop. And then that can help him to go the right way. But if there's no rebuke, if there's no sincere conversation, if there's no truth. I'll give you an example. You've got a brother that might have a BO, okay, a bodily odor or something like that, right? But you with him, you don't tell him. That is wicked. That is wicked. You're at a restaurant, you're eating, and the guy, brother, eats, and he got, food in his bed, and you don't tell him, and you walk around, and no one tell him. And then you get home, and you say, whoa, so I walked around, I wonder why people were looking at me funny. But you were his brother, you were walking with him, but you didn't tell him. And that's what we need to change in this truth, man. We came to the point where we love, okay, to be spoken soft words. But we don't like the harsh reality. We don't like the harsh truth. When someone is real, it becomes the enemy. And that's not right. Aren't we supposed to be the men of the Lord, the warrior that's supposed to be? When we read the Bible, that's how our men were before, man. So why is it that when somebody has that spirit, he becomes a problem? We have to change that, man. Because that's love. For me, that's real love. I want a brother to call me and tell me, listen, you said something about me, and I want to understand. I didn't like it. Let's communicate more in this truth instead of assuming and making a conclusion. It's always good to hear both sides of the story, man. That way we're going to grow, and that way we're going to be real. Remember, 2002, the beginning of the sorrows, man. We need to be united And we need to be real to one another. After all, we're not meant to be, friendly with everyone. But at least let's have that understanding of realness. That will help us a lot. Okay? Right. So I say we must let the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai rebuke us into perfection. And with that, I'll read Proverbs 21, 29 and 1. Okay? Proverbs 21, 29 and 1. Proverbs 21 and 9. And you read, bear with me, Akim and Aquafium. And you read, he that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy, man. I'll read that again. He that being often reproved hardeneth his neck shall suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. So if you're a brother and your next brother is talking to you, you can't take that rebuke. Sometimes, yes, it's true. Some brothers have a harsh way to bring it out. And sometimes, yes, that can really play with the emotion. But the Musa say, Yahweh says, guard up your loins. Like men. And when you read Isaiah 46 and 8, it tells you to be like men, to be men, real men. So if a brother tell you, you might tell him, listen, I didn't like the way you speak, but there's a truth in it. Let's not be ignorant, man. If a brother tell you the truth, that's the truth. Why now you making it an issue? Okay? Brother leaves brother because, brother separate because the next brother tell you the truth. But if he doesn't tell you the truth, how will you change? Because you're not perfect. You're not perfect. We're supposed to accept rebuke. Because rebuke is not meant to be comfortable, When you take your child and you give him a little flogging, it's not comfortable, but it's for his own good. Like they say, spare the rod, spoil the child. So if we don't tell each other the truth, how are we supposed to grow in Babylon, in this truth? How are we supposed to be sturdy? How are we supposed to be honorable in this truth if we're not real? I don't understand that part, man. That's just like fasting. If you want to break certain sin, you're going to have to conduct fasting. That's just one way. There's no two ways. It's the same thing. If you want to grow and understand more about yourself and know your mistake and know how to move in this truth, okay, you got to accept rebuke. And it's not comfortable because it's not meant to be comfortable. And whoever is trying to rebuke, find a nice way to rebuke a brother, doesn't love this brother. And this country, that's what they do, man. Okay? They don't really bring it out, really. They're just trying to, and that's anger on. That's not shit. That's why, brothers grow up and they're all, they're scattered in the mind because no one gave them that real so they can be balanced. We have to be balanced in this truth. And I will read as well Proverbs 27 and 5. Okay? Proverbs 27 and 5. Proverbs 27 and 5. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Open rebuke is better than secret love. Okay? So a brother that's real, he's going to tell you like he is, man. Now, I understand sometimes there is a way and there's a time to tell, a brother or a sister. That's true. That can be repaired. But nevertheless, rebuke has to be made. Rebuke and counseling has to be part of this walk, whether in your camp or, it has to be done. Because if it's not done, it's going to be wishy-washy. It's going to be hypocrisy. It's going to be play. It's going to be two-faced. It's going to be seen, under the rug. It's going to be secret life, double life. It's going to be white, a garment on the outside, but, dirt inside. Dirt inside. So we have to be real. We have no choice but to be real. Real men of the Lord will be real no matter what's happening. He's going to be real. But that's the spirit. Okay? And that's it. You want to be men of the Lord, but you don't want to take rebuke. You don't want people, your brothers, to tell you by yourself. That means maybe you're not a man of the Lord. Okay? We carry on. We carry on to the next point. Okay? And also, as men of the Lord, as Achium in this truth, we must learn to communicate effectively. We must learn to communicate effectively. And I'll read some precepts to make you understand. Okay? Because communication is very important. Communication is very important. When you have a problem with your brother, you must communicate with him because he doesn't know what's going on. Okay? You must communicate with him so he can understand. And if there's an apology to be made, he will make, because we're not perfect. We make mistakes in this truth. But if there's no, and it's funny how sometimes in a situation, you're the last one to know what's going on. I mean, obviously, you know that something is not right, but you don't really know what's going on. But everyone around you know about the situation. Why? Because brother pick up the phone and gossip about the situation. Tell people their side of the story, but you're not involved in the conversation. Is that biblical? Are we applying Matthew 18 in that case? No. Instead, we're gossiping and murmuring. And that's that emotion that's not control. As men of the Lord, we have to be able to control that emotion. Sometimes, yes, we don't control it and we do what we have to do. But at the end of the day, we have to come back, sit down, and deal with situation the appropriate way, like men. It's women who do this type of thing. Real men don't do that. Real men do not conduct themselves in that manner. That's feminine. Okay? Right. So knowing how to teach. Okay. So I say learning to communicate effectively. Right. So we're going to read Sirach 11 and 8. All right. We're going to read Sirach 11. Ecclesiasticus, okay, 11 and 8. And he reads, answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. So we have to know how to chime in the conversation, in preaching. We have to know how to chime in. Okay? A brother is telling you about something or he's speaking, let him finish. Don't come in between and stop the conversation, because then what you're going to do is like, if, let's say there's a debate or there's an argument, there's a situation. You have your position, I would say, you have your angle, and the brother has his angle. And you communicate. If the brother speak, let him speak. Let me tell you something, by letting someone speak, right? What's going to happen is that you're going to be able to pinpoint all the inconsistencies in what he's saying. And then when it's your time to talk, you will have a much better point. You will have a much more convincing, because you'll be able to pinpoint his weakness, is the thing that he says, his inconsistencies, and bring it on the table and explain it the right way. And show him, and sometimes when you listen to people, you see now where the problem is. And then you can now, reason with the person. Same thing as teaching. A group of brothers teaching. A brother speak, you let him speak. If someone, come to the camp, okay, if the brother speak, listen to what the brother say and help him, okay, help him convince. Well, we're not into the business of convincing, but my point is this: help me make a better point, so at least the person understand. He doesn't have to accept, but at least he understands. He knows, these brothers explain it beautifully. It makes sense. But if I say one thing, or if a brother say one thing, and I say something else, I cut him first, and I say something contrary to what he's saying. That's not harmony, man. That's not order. So we need to learn to. That's the art that we had in the past that we lost due to what you know. Okay, now we have to get it back. It's not just wearing the garment and going out to preach. It's a whole lifestyle that we have to acquire. We have to learn. Because remember, we are the men of the Lord. Brother want to be men of the Lord. Brother want the power. To get the power, there's steps. That's why Jeremiah 16:16 say he will send fisher first, and then he will send hunters. So these fishers will be hunters, but you have to do a beautiful and an excellent job, okay, as fishers, for you to be able now, okay, to be selected, okay, to be a hunter. If you're not a good fisher, how are you going to be a good hunter? If you're not faithful in the little things, how are you going to be faithful in the bigger things? Okay, so it's common sense to me. This truth deals with logic, man. This truth deals with logic. So we have to learn to be better communicator, and we have to learn to get our feelings, man, and deal with someone speak, you let him speak. Even if he says something that really, let him speak. Take note, hold your thought, and when it's your time to speak, explain it better so the person or the people around will be like, okay, yeah, the brother was right. The brother make more sense. Okay? When we communicate out there, when we preach, we have to be in harmony and not in disharmony. It's not an ego thing. It's to work together. Okay? Too much ego in this truth, man. Everybody got a talent. If your brother has a talent, let him flow in his talent. Let him flow. Because at the end of the day, the Most High will come and collect. He will want more. He will say, did you invest? Did you multiply this talent? Okay? And the same for you. So focus on yourself and help the brother grow. Because at the end of the day, what's beautiful is like we're going to get the same blessings. Whether the brother on your right has 100-fold and the brother on your left has 80-fold and you go 30-fold, it's all going to be the same blessing, man. At the end of the day, we all want to gain the kingdom. So let's love each other, and this is not a competition thing. This is a harmony and love. We have to show to the world who we are. We have to show them that we are the children of the light, and that's that. Okay. So if there's area in your life where you suffer, just be real and fast and ask the Most High to heal you. But don't use your frustration as a tool to create more trouble in the truth. And that's where it becomes a bit, dangerous, man. Because the Most High is about to judge. The Most High is bringing judgment, man. And the Bible says, 1 Peter 4:17, it must start, in Israel. Among us, the people who claim to be in the truth, amongst those who hold the truth. Okay? Right. So knowing how to teach and be a messenger of the Lord is key. Okay? We're going to read Sirach 33:4. Sirach 33:4. Okay? Let us read Sirach 33, Ecclesiasticus 33:4. And he said, prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instruction, and then make answer, man. We are the aristocrat of Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushua, man. This thing of ours is something that is big. So do not limit yourself, and do not let your past, your frustration, your hurt, your abandonment, the fact that you weren't in love when you were growing, all of that is the past, man. Be what you're meant to be. Be your better self. Do not, dwell in pettiness. Do not dwell in pettiness, manipulating brothers, doing this and doing that, doing the most. You're going to get yourself destroyed at the end of the day. Or you're going to limit yourself. You're going to limit your potential by doing that. You got to be greater, man. You are great. Be greater. Okay? So when you speak, take time and be precise and be concise. And if that's a word, okay? But my point is, be clear and be organized, okay? And so that people can get what you're saying. And people can be blessed by what you're bringing, man. Okay? Do not draw conclusion. You got an issue among two brothers, hear both sides. Take your time. Think about it. Ask the Most High to give you the wisdom to understand the situation and come up with a conclusion so that both parties can be healed. We got a greater job, man. But we limit ourselves, unfortunately. Okay, we limit ourselves. All right? We limit ourselves. I like to read as well 1 Corinthians 1 and 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. Okay? 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. First Corinthians 1 and 10 says this. And it reads, now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, okay? And that there be no division among you. There shouldn't be division among us, man. That's why we should talk. We should speak before anything. We should understand each other, know each other's strength, know each other, weakness. Okay, whoever is strength in that domain, okay, let him shine. Whoever is, if I'm weak and I got a brother that is strong in a particular domain, I will let him shine more. It's not a competition thing, man. Everyone brings, okay, his brick, and then we build. We builders, man. People don't even know that we builders. We the real mason, man. We the real Freemason. We building something. We building the tabernacle of the water, man. So we have to be in harmony. Communication. Understanding each other. Resolving issue like men. Okay? Because the object is to come out of the way of Babylon. Because in Babylon, in this world, people have the way to do things. But us, we want to do the right way. So when people see us the way we're conducting business, they'll be like, wow, these guys are different, man. They see something that they've never seen before. It's like an old vibration is back in fashion. And that's what the Most High is trying to tell us. But sometimes we get carried away by emotion. We let the past, control our present. And then it hinders our future. And that's very important to understand. Maturity in this truth is very vital, man. Egos, all of those things, that's for the bottomless pit. That's for the street niggas. That's for the ghetto niggas. That's for the mafia. We're a different sort of organization, man. We represent Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and we need to do better. Otherwise, we will just be preaching, but we're not going to practice it, man. We're not going to be real in the field. Okay? I'll read another precept. Okay, I will read 1 Corinthians 14 and 4 and 40. Salakia. 1 Corinthians, 14 and 40, the last verse. Okay. And 40, and he say, let all things be done decently and in order. So we gotta be orderly, even in our own life, like learning to be on time. Okay, learning to be organized. Okay, like a man should be, trying to make some money. You should be out there, make some money. Do what you have to do. You shouldn't be idle. Think like that, because you're going to cheat people. They will look at you as well. They will look at your life. Okay. Now, if you got a situation where you can't work or hustle, that's a difference. If you're sick, some people are sickly or whatever. But if you're a man and you can work and you're healthy, you should go, because the Bible speaks of that. Paul was a tent builder. He has his own, he has his hustle, man. You got to have your hustle and try to survive. Unless, with everything that's happening, they're telling us to take Vanessa, we cannot take them. We're going to be, jobless, because we're not going to bow down before the beast. That's a different situation. But before that, or, other than that, man, you got to be in order. All of that, it's not just in the camp realm. It's also in your personal life. You got to be in order, man. Because we represent Yahushai, Ba'Shem Yahushai. So we cannot be, disorderly. We got to be men. Okay? Right. And I'm speaking to myself. I'm speaking to myself as well. Like I say, the inspiration comes from the Most High. We publish it, but we speaking to ourselves as well. I involve no one. I'm just doing what in my heart was put in my heart, and I'm just sharing it. Okay, all right. So we're gonna go to 1 Corinthians 4:11 as well. We're gonna read first 1 Corinthians 4:11. 1 Corinthians chapter 4:11. And it says, okay, okay, we go. Okay, I think it's not really relevant in that. All right. Okay. So that's very important, man. Okay, the next one. Stop gossiping and murmuring, man. Stop gossiping and murmuring. You got an issue with a brother, you go and speak to the brother. You don't manipulate a next brother and create now a situation where you're with that brother and then the brother. No, that's not what. But at the end of the day, every foul thing that we're doing will come back at us. Because remember, every word that we utter out will be held accountable. So we have to be careful how we move in this truth, man. Be real. Brother might not like you for being too real, but at least you're real. But this fake thing, that's what created the problem. That means you have to now get rid of that old man. That means that old man is still there. Okay? That old man is still there. Gossiping and murmuring is dangerous, man. The children of Israel in the desert, in the wilderness, they were murmuring. What did the Most High do? What did the Most High do? We have to be careful, okay? So we're going to read Philippians 2. That gossiping is rampant in the truth, man. People gossip too much in the truth. It's not good. You want to defame someone, say things about, and it's not, and most of the time it's not even true. Go to the person and tell him, listen, this, and apply Matthew 18. If you got an issue with the brother, apply Matthew 18:15. Hold court, man. Hold court in the street. Hold court in the camp, wherever you are. Bring it up. And if the brother is in fault, he's going to have to repair that situation. If he doesn't repair it, the Bible says we consider him as a publican and a heathen. Let's do it the way the Most High wants us to do it, man. Because it seems like brother want to be going preaching and being in truth, but when he come to dealing with situation, now they want to be like niggas in the niggas the way in the past, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. So Philippians 2, okay, Philippians 2 and 14. Philippians 2 and 14. Okay. And he say, do all things without murmurings and disputings. Okay? We can have an argument. We can have a passionate argument. But at the end of the day, we have to shake hands and understand each other. If you don't understand, brother, you ask him, brother, I didn't understand why. And then he will explain it to you. But let's learn to control ourselves and be calm, man. Brother can't be upset with you like you did the worst thing to them. They don't want to talk to you. Come on, man. We men. We men. Okay? Do all things without murmurings and disputings. Okay? Verse 15. That ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of Yahweh without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. You see, the way we move amongst each other, okay, it's like the light. If we don't do the right thing, it will be a dim light. If we do the right thing, it will be a heavy light. And people will be like, wow, these guys are moving differently, man. These guys are different out here. But if you play a game, it ain't going to be strong. And I believe the reason why it's not strong is because of us. We are our worst enemy. I am my worst enemy. My brother is not my enemy. Me first, I am my enemies. He can be my enemy because he might have done something that, that's not honorable, but I'm my first enemy. So I check myself first before I go and check the next brother. If the brother sees something in me, he check me too. Because I want to change. Okay? So he said, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as light in the word. Okay? Holding forth the word of life, that I may rejoice in the day of Amashiach, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain, man. We have to be careful. We have, you see, I almost spoke French. You see, Yahweh sees it all, man. He sees everything. He sees who is sincere, and he sees who manipulates situation. And if you carry on like that, the Most High going to kick you out, man. He going to do something to you. We need to fear Yahweh. We don't fear Yahweh, man. We don't fear Yahweh because what we do is wicked. It's not biblical, man. Sometimes you wanna know what you did to brother, but you don't even know, like, what have I done apart from being real. Yeah, sometimes your over real is true, but that can be discussed. That can be repaired. You know, let's not turn brothers, and good intention into, evil and bad deeds. That's not honorable. That's not honorable at all. All right? That's not orderly. That's not structured. That's not honorable, man. Okay? That's not noble. That's not noble. Okay? We're going to read 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians 12. Okay? 1 Corinthians 12, 27. Okay, 25 to 27. And he says, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Hamashiach, and members in particular, man. So we gotta be united out here, man. If there's any situation, there's no situation that cannot be resolved. Unless, if a brother is into sin and I don't want to repent, that's a different situation. Because I've been in that situation before. Okay? I had to leave, a camp because a brother, okay, didn't want to leave the sin he was in. So I went through the normal Matthew 18 and whatever, and nothing would change, so I left. I don't want to be in the midst of that. Okay? And I base it on Psalm 26. Unless it's that, then that's different. If there's an issue or whatever, it can be resolved. We got the greatest tools, the greatest knowledge to resolve any situation. The world leaders cannot resolve the situation because they don't have that knowledge. We have that wisdom. So why should we act like the worldly people? The worldly people act like that because they have no choice, because they don't have the tools. They don't have the necessary tools to resolve situation or crisis. We have the necessary tools to resolve our crisis. So what's the problem? Let's come together as men and let's solve the situation. Okay? It's that simple. Because these things of ours is not even ours. It's of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So brother better know that, man, before it's too late. Let's read James 5 and 16. Because we're going to have to read the Bible. We're going to bring the precept, man. We can't be talking. There's no precept. Let's bring the precept. Okay? Shalakia Israel. Shalakia, man. All right, James 5 and 16 say, confess your fault, okay, one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. And I'd like to say something. When a brother comes to you and tell you about his personal stuff, because he's in distress, sometimes you want to be able, okay, to, vent. You want to be able to share your pain. You want to be able, okay, to explain situation that really pains you inside as a way of healing. So the brother trusts you and the brother tell you stuff. But what you do now, you hold it against him, and if there's any schism between you and the brother, you go and the whole world knows about it. That's not noble. Okay, because that's what he says here. He said, confess your fault to one another, man. Brother, I'm dealing with this situation. I'm struggling with that. But then brother would call the next brother and say, oh, yeah, he's struggling with that. Or he does that. Or he does that. Using my weakness against me. That's not biblical, man. So we have to change that. And that's why a lot of brothers are very skeptical as far as, talking about the personal stuff to brothers. Because what brothers do, they use that against you, man. In time, they will use that against you. And if you have that spirit, you have to cut it off before it's too late, man. Cut it off or be cut off, man. Let me tell you something. The Most High is terrible, man. The Most High is terrible, man. And he's about to do a lot of things. So let's be humble and let's, fall before his throne and ask him to remove all the demonic spirit that's on us, man. We got demonic spirit. Just because you're in the truth doesn't mean that you don't deal with with demons. You are still influenced with demons. That's why you have to fast and pray and be real. Okay? Bible said they're real until the realness is there on table. Then they can't be real anymore. Okay? So that's very important, man. Don't use people or, brother will come and tell you something about the next brother that preoccupied him. And you will use that and you will formulate in a way where the brother there will see the next brother as a snake. That's not right. And a lot of that goes on in the truth, man. We're going to speak the truth. Okay? We call it the truth, right? So why are people offended when we speak the truth? I don't understand that. Me and my spirit is the spirit of truth. Like I say, if a brother have a problem with me, pull up, man. And let's discuss it as men. Please. That's what I'm saying, man. Because me, I'll be real until the end. I'll keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to be, if I feel something, I'll tell a brother. Now, I may have to work on how I deliver the realness. Yes, I agree. I may have to work on that. But I will be real. I will be real, man, because that's what we need, man. Okay? Next issue. Letting go of past issues. Letting go of past issues. Your past is a past. And to be deep, everything that we've been through in life, we deserve it. Because that's retribution. Either in your past life, that was the judgment, okay, that was given to you when you came to this life that you live in, and you went through that. So deal with it with maturity. Say to yourself, listen, that's my past, there's nothing I can do about it, but I need to move on. But when you let your past issue now control your life in the truth and how you deal with brothers and how you see this truth and things like that, that's when the problems start, man. You will always find yourself in certain situations like you don't need to find yourself in because you're comparing the new situation with the situation that you had in the past. But it's not the same thing. You're in the truth now. Okay? Letting go of certain things is very important. Matthew 6 and 15. Let's read Matthew 6 and 15. Okay? Bear with me. Salakia Israel, I just want to check. Okay? And that will be the last point. There's a lot of points, but that will be the last point. I'll make many. I won't make it part 2, but it is what it is, man. You can't say everything. You can't say everything, man. Okay? Matthew 6 and Matthew 6 and 15. Matthew 6 and 15. Okay, it says this. But if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So you have to forgive yourself, forgive your past, and forgive the brothers, man. Okay, and I'll read one more precept, and that's it. Let's read Sirach 28. Okay, Sirach 28. Let's read Sirach 28. Okay.
Sorry, do you take card?
Salakia. All right. Let's say Ecclesiasticus 1, 28:1. He that revengeth, okay, shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee, so shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. Okay? As for me, I have nothing against no one. Okay? I have nothing against no one, man. Okay? And in time, brother that I had an issue with, okay, based on certain situation, in time, I pray that the Most High make our path cross so they can see that my heart is pure and I don't hate brothers. So if you have an issue with me, come and talk to me, man. I'm here. I'm not hard to find. You got my number or whatever. You can, talk to me. Let's talk to each other, man. Let's start calling brothers and let's talk to each other and so we can solve issues. Okay? With that, I'll give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Waha, Rocha, Kwadash. Okay? I hope the lesson was edifying and Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.